So you used to train some kids in massage gym?
Yeah. At first I used to help, and then, like I said, when I went on the course, and I kind of passed, then I got a part-time job with the council. Yeah, Manchester City Council. I got a part-time job with them, and which was teaching kids about the technique, how to lift the weight without hurting themselves, how to do sets, reps, different exercises. And I did that for 12 years, yeah. For about 12 years of part-time. That was good. Enjoyed that. Still worked at the club at the same time. Did that at night. This just during the day. Did a bit of, like I said, painting and decorating, and for people that I knew. And that kept me going for a while.
You used to work out?
Yeah, but mostly now it's maintenance, because I don't do the heavy weights no more. I leave that to the youths. You know what I mean? They're the ones that want to be big and strong. Me, I just want to maintain or hold on to a bit of gas. So it's mostly maintenance now. The cardio and the other use the resistance machines instead of the heavy weights.
I forgot to ask you. How old are you now, Tommy?
I'm 79.
Wow.
I'm 79. Like I said, if you look after yourself, you can have a long and healthy life. It just depends on what you do.
Back in the days, when you heard about people in their 60s, 70s, you look at them as an old man or old woman.
Of course. I mean, when you're 30, anybody's 60 is old. Anybody's 70 is even is ancient, sort of thing. But like I say, then you start again like that, because age is something that never stands still, is it? And then you get to 40, and then you get to 50, you get to 60, and you become a part of that older generation. But you still got to look after yourself, because your body's your temple, and if you don't do something about it and look after it, then it will let you down.
Do you try to eat properly?
As best as I could. Yeah, I try. I mean, I don't say I actually do it all the time, but I kind of, maybe 70% of the time or 80% of the time, I try and have a healthy diet. But there's still other things waiting for you all day besides a healthy diet, isn't it?
Do you drink and smoke?
Everything in moderation. No, I cut the smoking out about going to 18 years now. I stopped smoking. And I'll advise anybody who's smoking right now, give it up. It's a nasty habit, and it's like you're paying for your own sickness, so to speak, because there's no way you can smoke cigarettes and it doesn't affect your health. Drinking, yeah. Moderate. I always drank in moderation, because with working in the door, you couldn't afford to get drunk. You had to have that discipline to stay sober, because the people who were nice to you going through the door were kind of nasty coming out. You know, especially when I moved from the Nile and I started working in town, that was a different way. The people were absolutely completely different to the people that I work with in my side.
Elaborate on that for us, please.
Well, I worked in a club. It was basically a student club. It was called The Venue. I worked there for nearly 12 years as well. That was when the acid house period, where everybody was acid and MDMA or whatever they call it, and hitting speed. Nah. So you had a lot of the people, a lot of the guys who were looking for clubs, what they call innocent clubs, where they can go in and maybe sell the stuff or earn a body. So our job then was to keep them out and just basically let students in. So most of the times the problems we have were when people came, if anybody came without a student card, and you refused them admission, and then you had the little rumble at the door. But we kept them out. There was 4 of us. We kept a steady ship there.
So you must encounter drunk people in this club then?
In the club, yeah. Well, students drink, Students drink and get drunk, and they puke all over the place, and some of them get naughty in the toilets as well. You know, so in that sense, yeah, it kept us on our toes. But the basic thing why we were there for was to keep the drugs out of the club. That was the main reason why we worked there. But like I said, people are drunk.
You have to throw anyone?
No, we didn't throw people out. We escorted them out in the kindest of ways. Because even when you work in the doors, there were certain things that you couldn't do. Right? You couldn't manhandle people, because we even had to went on a course. We had to go on a course to show you the things that you can do as you work the doors. The council started that. So on the course, you couldn't manhandle people. You couldn't throw people out. You had to take people's welfare into consideration. Like if somebody was drunk and you think by throwing them out, or they can fall and bang their heads or hurt themselves, then you weren't allowed to do things like that.
But you still work out, you were saying?
Yeah, I still train, but not to the extent that I used to before.
Yeah. Do you do sit-ups and push-ups and those things?
Oh yeah, we do the basics: sit-ups, push-ups. I work mostly on the resistance machines. It's not as strenuous as actually pushing the free weights.
How many sit-ups can you do on it?
How many sit-ups can I do? Just depends. I do repetitions. I do repetitions of maybe 20, 25 at a time. Could be 4 sets of 25. Could be 5 sets of 25. It just depends.
Can you do pull-ups?
Pull-ups, chins, yeah. If I need help, we've got a machine downstairs where it's a chin dip assist. It helps you to do the exercise. Yeah, I can do pull-ups. Do me little 8s and me 10s sometimes when I have to.
If you wasn't working out, would you think you'd be in the good shape as you are now?
No. That's one thing I like about having this job. I mean, I don't need as much discipline as the man who's got a job outside, because I've got everything I want is here. Now, the man I admire is the man who goes to work, does his 8 hours, and still has find time to come here and train. Now that takes discipline, especially if you got to go home after work, sit down for maybe half an hour or whatever, and then come to the gym. Now we got people that come here before they go to work, 6:30 in the morning, and they work out from 6:30 to maybe 8, have a shower, and leave here for 8:30 to get to work for 9. Discipline. I admire those people. To me, if I wasn't here, will I be coming here 3 times or 4 times a week? I don't know. I might go in the park and do a bit of a brisk walk or maybe a jog and that, but actually coming to the gym itself, I don't know.
Have you ever been ill?
Yeah, I was ill. I was diagnosed with a prostate cancer.
What did you find out?
What do you call it? I used to call it the snakes, the town of the snake. You know, when you go to the toilet and you go and urinate, and instead of going straight, you go like a snake's town, flies across. That shows that you've got something wrong with the tube. So, and the next thing was getting up maybe 3, 4, 5 times a night to go to the toilet. And I thought, no, that ain't right, something's wrong here. So I went to the doctor, explained, and they sent me for tests at the Royal. You know, the usual prostate test sort of thing. And they said it felt like because your prostate is supposed to be smooth, but mine felt like it was like a walnut. You know, you feel a walnut, you feel all that like indentations on it. And he says he's got a strong feeling that it might be cancerous, but I need to have a biopsy on it. So they made arrangements, and I had the biopsy, I got the results, and it says it was cancerous. It had cancerous cells on the prostate. So of course, when you hear that, you start thinking about what goes with it, especially death. So anyway, I started asking questions. met the doctor that was in my case, and we had a discussion like he whether should have chemo or radiotherapy. So I asked him with these chemo, radiotherapy, what's the odds of it being cured? And he says, well, I think the odds then was about 65%. So I said, well, 65%, that means there's a possibility that it can come back even with radiotherapy and chemo. And he says, well, yes. I says, is there any other way? He says, well, you can have it removed. I says, and what's the possibility of having it removed and it coming back after that? And he says, maybe 5%, 5 or 10%. So I said, well, it's a no-brainer then, isn't it? The obvious thing is to take it out. But then he started telling me the after effects of taking it out. That you can become, what should I say, like incontinent, impotent as well, right? And you can have like a weak bladder where you can, you like incontinence, isn't it? Yeah. Now I sat down and I thought, I'm still young, innit? I was only 62 at the time. I thought, impotent, 62, work it out, that or live life or death. It took me a while to decide which way to jump. Anyway, I turned out to him and says, listen, take it out. Right? Nah. I had to wait till about 2-3 months to make sure that it is what I wanted. You know, that I wasn't going to change my mind, and I said, yeah, take it out. Anyway, I got the operation with Christie. I was supposed to be in hospital 12 days, I was out in 6. Yeah. I was out in 6. Everything was okay. What saved me in a way, I had good stomach muscles. Right, I've been doing the exercise, so I can control my bladder. You know what I mean? So it wasn't like I could and still no pass anything. Whereas with a guy who didn't have no control of stomach muscles, you know what I mean? So that kept me in good stead. He was wrong with the impotency side as well. That was another story. That was okay, but I needed help sometimes. So I got a course of Viagra's. I had to use that for a while, but I don't bother them. That's out the window now. I don't need them no more. So, and I was 62 then. So that's 17 years ago when I had that. Yeah, that was scary at first. It was scary, but now it's all in the past. You know what I mean? And I would advise anybody with any symptoms of prostate cancer to go and get it done. Go and look after yourselves. I mean, a lot of us men that thought of maybe having a finger up your to feel your prostate as some kind of some degrades, you know, it's degrading. It ain't. If it's gonna save your life, you gotta put it. They wanna matter. I'm telling you straight. Your life is important. So get rid of all that crap in your head that a finger up your to save your life is going to make any big difference to how you live. Get it done. That's my advice, whether you accept it or not.
So the cancer never came back then?
Nope. I went for physicals for the next 5 years after that, every year. Went and got my antigens checked because your prostate gives off. Went and got everything checked, and after 5 years, turned around and says, "You're home and dry." And I've been okay since. Touch wood.
Tommy, are you a saint or not?
No, I'm not a saint. I'm not a saint per se, but I've never annoyed or you know what I mean, people or done anything to anybody that they want to hurt me. You know what I mean? Am I annoyed? Am I annoyed? A few people kind of wind them up a bit, but not to the extent where they want to shoot, stab me or anything like that. You know? I never get involved in people's lives. I got my own problems to deal with. I don't have to go and take other people's and put it on top of me. But, no. You can walk around Mossad and ask anybody. There's few people without ever turn around to you and says that I've done them anything. Or they've got any reason to want harm to come to me. You know, but that doesn't say that I've been a saint. It's just that I've just lived my life according to the way I see fit.
You're one of the nicest men I know locally. Yeah, so I'm sure some woman can tell a bit story about you.
Maybe a few. I mean, like everybody can tell a story. Everybody exaggerates. You know, they add a little bit on for themselves. You know, I mean, you hear something for somebody, then you pass it on, you add a bit more, and then he passes it on, he adds a bit more. Yeah, I did have a reputation once as a kind of a player, but not now. No. Now my type of woman's got to be like 60 odd, well kempt. You know, looked after herself, well looked after. And that's it. They're far and few in between.
Are you seeing anyone now?
Yeah, I got a friend that I see. You know, every so often we get together, we go out, have meals and that. But it suits both of us the way things are.
Have you been back to Guyana?
No, most of the people that I was close to in Guyana are not there anymore. Who's not passed is left. I mean, most of my family in America. I've seen about 3 or 4 cousins when I went over to see the old man. The first time I went over, he was in New York, and I bumped into a few of them. We had a little party, and they were there. But otherwise than that, no. I might go back now. I heard they found oil there. I might go back and see if I got any piece of land that they might want. Okay. They might want to buy, or whatever. Yeah, they just discovered oil. Only I think it's the only island in the West Indies, or only West Indian island, where oil has been found. Don't forget, we're just next door to Venezuela, and Venezuela's got oil. So maybe a few hundred tons or barrels of Venezuela oil might have just seeped over into Guyana. Who knows?
How do you feel in yourself?
How do I feel? Physically? I feel sound, feel fit. I don't know, I'm active. Active body gives an active mind, doesn't it? You know what I mean?
Did you think when you reach this age you will feel this way?
No. No. Then again, age is just a state of mind, isn't it? I mean, not because you're 79 means you gotta stay at home and lie down on a settee and do nothing. You're still active. You're still doing things. Find things to do.
So the guys you used to move with, are they still active?
The guys I used to move with, the ones that are alive, not as active as they should be. Some come here, swimming. They go to the sauna. They swim in there, but I've only seen maybe a couple that comes to the gym and do a little bit of a workout. But unless they go somewhere else. I'm talking about people who come here. They might be going somewhere else, for all I know. But I've not seen them here.
Women, back in the days?
I've seen a few of the old girls around still. Yeah. Some of grandmothers, like me and my grandfather. Some of them are grandmothers as well. We still talk. We still sometimes reminisce about how things were then and how things are now. But it's the way it is.
So overall, your life, what do you say?
Overall, I've had a good life. To the extent that I've only had the one problem that I mentioned before, as far as illness goes. Never done anything to anyone that I'm ashamed of. There's nothing that I've done that when I go to bed at night that plays on my mind that I can't sleep. And to me, them are things like that as important. No, I've had a good life. I've enjoyed my life.
Legacy. What would you like to leave to your kids and grandkids?
To my kids and grandkids, the first thing I'll tell them is to get an education, because without an education, you're going to find life very difficult, especially in this area now. My time, all you need to do was work and earn pennies, and you're okay. But now, with all this high tech that's going along, if kids are not educated, they're not going to get a job. And if you don't have a job, life ain't going to be easy. Life is not going to be easy. So I will tell them to get educated. I'll tell them to try and live a life that's good. Stay away from things that can harm you, like drugs, stuff like that, and do unto others as you would have others do unto you.
79 years old. When are you going to retire?
When I wake up in the morning and I don't want to be here anymore, I think it'd be time to go. When I get dissatisfied with work, I suppose I will retire. But until then, I don't see no reason to. I work because I can, not because I have to. There's a difference.
You have no plans to retire?
No, not yet. Maybe a year's time, when I get to 80, I might think about it. But right now, it's on the back burner.
What would you like people to remember you for?
When they think of me, I love to see them smile. I love to see people, when they say, "Oh, remember Tommy that used to work at the island?" People go, "Yeah, I remember him," and they smile instead of scowl. You know what I mean? Because right away then you think that something bad. But I would love that. I would love that. And even if when they do speak of me, then again, if people speak of you, that means they've remembered you. You're in their memories, isn't it? And the one thing about death, if you're in people's memory, in a way you're still with them. It's when people forget who you were. I think that's when everything is done, isn't it?
Are you scared of dying?
No, death is inevitable. It's a waste of time being scared of something that you know is going to happen. All you're going to do is worry yourself to death. So you defeat the whole purpose of the exercise. So I think no. I know it will come at some time. All I hope is that it's not a prolonged illness or anything like that. If it's going to happen, I don't want to be in the hospital for weeks or months, and because I believe in a quality of life, not a quantity of life. Once I have quality, I would live to be 120. If I can wipe my own butt, feed myself, be independent, fair enough. But when it comes to going back, as they say, once a man, twice a child, when I'm started going back to the twice a child, then it's time to go.